don't know, the Lovie Awards have been around in Europe for only about 5 or 6 years. They are the sister awards to the mighty Webby Awards, which I'm sure many of you have heard of.
So if you think back even like 5-6 years ago, the stuff that we were seeing coming from Google completely just was so fresh and interesting, and took that position, which is why are we kind of coming up with half-cooked stuff to entertain, to engage people, when we should just go hell for leather and do the most interesting things we can.
What Julie did is she did these sort of podcasts at night where she'd go walking around the streets of Marseille. Let's tell that story in an interesting way. But you've got to be careful, because otherwise if you're just telling the story, you're not getting into the sense of what it feels like to be Julie. I think you had to make the experience feel really, really real. And I think to Nick's point, because there was a cultural dimension to this, because Marseille had this bad reputation, we were doing something that actually resonated with people, because if you lived in France and you've got this bad idea about Marseille, because Google was doing this, it encouraged people to find out more. So things through technology that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So I think that was why the cultural aspect to it, and also the beauty of the creative work.
This place is actually, it's a collection of stories about the influence they had on people like myself and like yourselves, and a collection of stories of what the people that recorded and the people who produced those recordings made, and the impact they made on the world. Now the irony is even though it's probably 15-minute cab ride from here, unless you're one of these people with a record deal, you will never be able to see firsthand what these people were doing and the history that they were writing. So from a Google perspective, being able to collaborate with Abbey Road and to be able to use technology to break down barriers, because that's our whole thing.
I mean, YouTube has changed my life without a doubt, and that video certainly changed my life as well.
What do you go for in a girl?
It's been shown in every country in the world, and it's been amazing. You go from talking to like 20, 30 people in the back room of a pub to suddenly everywhere, every country in the world. Interestingly, when we made that, one thing I found really useful myself is we put loads of money into trying to increase the production values of connecting our stories, and we drop views every time we do it. And the one thing that we found really useful, we love now, is people just seem to love whenever what we create, it's shown that there's been more love, or there's been more passion, or there's been more time that's been put into it.
But it's only interesting because people want to come on the journey with you. And I mean, one thing that I'm trying to do much more of is simplify it, because I think what we've learned is the more complex it is, people won't come with you on the journey. It's bloody expensive as well, very time consuming, and people won't come with you on the journey.
Technology isn't substance. Technology itself isn't content. It's a means to an end. What is that end? I think if you think along those lines, then you will delight our jury. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much for coming along. Cheers.